my really adorable good friend, Terry Ann Russell. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. Well,
Let's
we
see.
have an
I'm not
exciting night
sure.
tonight.
Yeah, let's see. I don't remember how I got the chat last time. That's private chat.
Oh, I have it up in my corner.
You do? Okay, here it is. Yep.
Messages from audience will display here. Yeah.
Okay, I think I see it.
All right, perfect.
Let me type hi, see if it works. Where's Judy? Do you see
Oh,
it?
hello, Terry Ann Russell. I see it. Do you see it too?
Yeah. So
Good.
whoever knows us knows that we're newbies in technology. So newbie, okay? And that's probably an old word too by now.
That's all right. We'll take it. But it's true.
Yeah.
We're just trying to learn to see what the best platform is and what makes us feel comfortable. Because I think that's how we do our best is when we're comfortable, then it will show
Absolutely.
more. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we
So
were
what are we,
talking.
huh?
We were talking, and we always talk a few minutes before the show to connect our energy. And I think that's so important for the both of us to be in the same space. And I think that's what strengthens our connection, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if people don't understand energy, Anna's in Tennessee and I'm in Arizona.
Isn't that crazy? But that tells you how energy, it doesn't make a difference how far you are. If you can tap in, you can tap into the energy anywhere, or anywhere in the world, anywhere
Exactly.
in the world. And with that being said, Terry Ann was just talking a little bit about that, about energy and about the war and all this craziness that we're going through right now. How do we get through it? How do we take care of it? And so tell them what you were
Mm.
telling me, what your thoughts and what you're thinking. And
So we did some channeling because
mm,
there's a lot goes around about my truth, my truth's right, your truth's wrong.
right.
I'm the better one. I know the truth. The only truth I believe is Christ consciousness truth. Okay. Until you can reach Christ consciousness, your truth is only your truth.
True.
Until
Yes.
you see that. And I don't think we're going to see that in our lifetime, unfortunately.
Mm-mm.
But that's true. The more you can live, we were talking, the more you can live up here.
Yeah.
And how do you live up there, right? It's like you drop down back into ego and that pulls you back in because you're offended. Oh, that person offended me. That person pissed me
Yeah.
off. And it's
Right.
like,
Right.
well, if you're up here, that person can call you whatever or give you the finger down the road. It doesn't matter because
It
you're in
doesn't.
Christ consciousness. You don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Yeah.
who they are here. And I've always said that. If you can see, when people start to see people for who they are in the inside, we'll end war.
Yeah. Yeah. I I agree with that statement. And I agree that when you realize that you are working from a higher self or a higher realm or how you explain it up here, um, you will feel that shift. And it's not mine. Oh, we were talking about this earlier. It's all about that feeling, right? So when I knew it, I had the feeling, but what really triggered me is I was in a situation and I forgot what it was. I think I was probably driving in my commute or whatever. And I think we talked about this one time about people cutting me off or whatever. But I noticed as I was going through, I don't think it was just one thing. No, it was like something that would have irritated me before and I knew I would have reacted. I didn't even react. And then that's when I knew, okay, I am definitely doing the work. I am definitely doing the work on myself because my reactions are not reacting how I normally would have reacted to some
Oh,
situations.
shit.
What?
Did I record it? Oh, I can't record it. Wait a minute.
You're so cute.
No, okay, I don't have to.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry
She's
to
losing it, people. She's
Hi.
losing it.
So I'm out there tonight, just so you know.
She is, but she's
I
done
am
a
out in the upper
lot.
realms right now.
Oh my gosh. But tell them what you've been doing. Let them know why.
Okay, so
She's
I
like,
have
hold
been
on.
on a journey. Holy shit. I don't even know where to begin. I've been on a journey.
Have.
I have. And I know I set this journey up. And so, oh, it's just unbelievable. So I became a holistic minister this weekend.
Woohoo!
And it was not anything like I expected it would be. I have had so much integration, so much I can't understand.
Mm,
There's, I'm okay with saying I don't know nothing. I'm going to tell you that right now. I am on this planet, we don't know anything. It's
mm.
like, I don't care if you're sitting here and you're spiritual and you're like, oh, I know everything. Well, let me tell you, I don't believe it. That's my truth. You don't know it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it. I've been integrating that energy, but because of that, I am not here. Like,
Mm,
I
mhm.
just haven't been able. Today was like the first day I could
Is it
really
you're not
just.
grounding? Is that what it is? You're just not able to ground yourself? Is that what it is? Or what do you
I
think?
think there's a lot coming in at once. I'm being my
Oh,
my
overload.
my cellular energy is being upgraded to crystalline very
Mm.
quickly. Today was like the first day I could really like just get up and really like function
Oh, wow.
because it's coming in, right? And
Right.
I want to take everything that's coming into me. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, okay, all this information's coming in, and I overdo it. And that is my
Mhm.
lesson. I
Too
always
much
overdo it.
downloading, too much. Like, you want it, but you're allowing too much to come in instead of just a little bit by little bit, take it in, and then work it through it. You're just like an open book right now, like, "Just come on."
And I think it's because there's several reasons besides me wanting to know it all.
Uh-huh.
Um, the other part of that is we're in this huge integration period.
Mm, mhm.
Everything is quickening. You're getting the
Ugh.
people that were like we were the waves before. The people that are waking up now, these new waves,
Mm,
it's coming. You can't slow it down. It's going to come in and
mhm,
you're going to think you're losing your fucking mind. And
mhm.
let me tell you, if that happens, go to a spiritual advisor. That's all I can tell you. Because if you go to a mental place,
Mm-mm.
you know,
Yeah.
I do know somebody that did go to mental health and she ended up working in mental health. But, still, it's like not many people are open to that avenue.
Right, right. Well, I think you know what people are not understanding it, and like you said, I think it is definitely speeding up. Like there's something going on energetically in the world right now, and it's speeding up at a pace that even to me, like if I was just coming into this, I think it would really rock my boat. Thank God I started, when it was just, at a slower pace for me. But I think, like you said, the people waking out because of COVID and stuff, they really had time to sit down. They really had time to get in touch with themselves. But now it is going at a faster pace. But if they're not open to it fully, and let their past beliefs and what other people think of them, then
Mm.
you're right. It's going to cause a lot of people to go in and get on anxiety pills, get on depression pills, and all of this when all it is their bodies are elevating to a new degree that they're not used to being at.
And the body's last. The body is, I will tell you, the body, the physical body, the vessel we are in, is the
Mhm.
last to integrate because it's so dense and heavy. It's not meant to carry all that light. But
Right.
whatever they coated us with, and
Mhm.
they, our galactic ancestors, whatever they coated us with,
Mhm.
has to be upgraded now. Those codes are no longer good for our human because we're going crystalline, right? We're
Mm.
going from human carbon based DNA to crystalline DNA. Our physical body is having a difficult time adjusting to that because
Mm.
of we're not crystalline.
Yeah. Now,
But it has
what
to
does
come
that
in.
what does that mean? So, like, what does
Mm,
crystalline mean? Like, what, like, if I, like, I'm like, okay, what is she talking about? What does crystalline mean? You know what I mean? And because,
so
science, if you listen, science and stuff, that's another thing. People used to think what we do with mediums, psychics, healers, back then we were all crazy. But now even science is coming out to say, wow, wow, there is evidence showing, that it isn't crazy like everybody thinks it is. It's
yeah, so before I go into that, I know
proven.
somebody that does like is it ultrasound? I think it's ultrasound or something. It's either ultrasound or thermography or something, but
Mhm,
they did a scan of somebody before healing
mhm.
and then after the healing.
Ooh.
The whole body, you know how, I guess it was maybe thermography because you could see the different
Yeah,
colors.
the heat and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So after, the whole body was different colors.
Oh,
So they
see?
are starting to wake up. They're starting to understand that these beings that we're in,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
There's more to us. There's so much more to us. And when you understand that, you become a different person. I said earlier, you can't unknow what you know.
Right. Yeah, which is true. But you know what? That falls in the belief. I think that brings up to where I struggled with this whole thing of realizing we are not what we are, because I always believed, well, there's God and angels, and I can't be with the gods and the angels and all that with source. But then when I came to find out that I am a part of the source and I am the light, it's like everything just connected. And then that's where I could hear more clear, through, like we were saying, the meditation. Well, meditation is prayer. Every night I sit down and my prayers, I ask, I do ask, for, please watch over the world. I can't just ask for a specific, because everybody needs prayer and everybody needs something. But
Absolutely.
in my prayer, it's almost like I have a conversation with my friend, and I always wish that I had that person, or the universe is what I say, or the Lord next to me, so I can see the tangibleness of it. But I'm very grateful that I can receive the messages through either my writing, or if I just sit long enough, then I can hear the messages download to me. Like you were saying with all your downloads, I mean, where's that coming from? And you know that it can't be because like we were saying one time too, is the language is completely different. We're using words that we would have never used before.
Yeah,
Don't
and
you
so let
agree?
me answer your question from earlier. Crystalline. So
Yes, please.
crystalline, think of crystals, right? Crystals are
Hmm.
clear, crisp energy.
Hmm.
They are in our earth. They're everywhere to be found. Okay. Our body is going from that carbon-based DNA to that crystalline DNA. So we're becoming crystallized. We're becoming
Okay.
higher frequency. When we go higher frequency, we can't live down here anymore
Hmm.
because it doesn't match. It doesn't mesh. And that's not to say that you can be in 3D and I could be in 5D and we can't connect, because we can.
Right.
That's to say, as we grow, and I'm talking as a whole, a evolution, as we go on,
Hmm.
we will be crystalline based beings. And that's
Mm.
how our ancestors, whatever's there now, 9D, I don't know what your belief is. My belief is past, present, future. It's happening right now. I can access any piece that I want to access. And I think people ought to know that information. You
Hmm.
are capable. They don't want you to know that you're capable. And when I say they, that
Hmm. Hmm.
goes into a whole nother realm of, well, who are they? Okay.
Right,
We
right,
all
right.
know who they is. Okay.
Yes.
But I don't know. So we're going to get back to the feeling.
Hmm.
We have been disconnected from our intuitive senses for far too fucking long.
Way
We
too
have
long.
not been taught to trust. We've been taught to think, right? I'm going to
Hmm.
think. That person, I don't like the way he looks. I don't trust him.
Hmm.
Go here.
Hmm.
What does here tell you? How do you
Hmm.
feel about it? So many people, and it's not just the feeling. We were talking earlier. You've got to do your inner work. When you go here, there's going to be shit that comes up, and you have got to acknowledge what that is and learn how to understand it and heal it,
Right.
because that stuff's going to be coming up. Like, say, if I feel not worthy,
Hmm.
no matter what I do, I'm going to feel not worthy. I'm going to feel like other people are judging me. No matter
Hmm.
what I do, I can make
Right.
$1 million a year. I'm still going to feel like people are judging me because I don't feel worthy. If you haven't looked at what that is, how can you expect to go on and continue relationships? If you want to live in your own little bubble there, thinking whatever, go ahead. I'm not here to change your mind.
Hmm. Yep. No, I agree. It goes to, a lot of people always say that that's the feeling, exactly kind of what you were saying about, a lot of people say, why can't I find my next husband or spouse, lover, relationship, whatever. They just can't
Mhm.
find it. And I'm like, well, then I'm like, look at yourself. Can you spend time by yourself? Because
Yes.
right? Right? Because if you don't love yourself and you don't know what you want in yourself, how is the universe, or how can you be with somebody else?
Right. You can't match another frequency. So if you want to be with somebody that is like you, trustworthy, loving, caring, affectionate, compassionate, if you want all those things, you have to believe you are all
Got
those
that.
things.
Yes,
So
you have to
I'm
be
going
that
to tell you what
person.
came through. And it's like, let your fucking ego die.
Go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is
Mm-hmm.
no room for it anymore. We've got to let it go.
Yeah.
If you believe you're not worthy, and I get into a relationship with somebody, he's not going to treat me like I'm fucking worthy. Hell no.
Yeah.
And that's going to piss a lot of people off when they hear that, because they're like, "Well, what do you mean? I did that." What you
Mm,
have inside is what you create outside.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. No, you're definitely onto something, my friend, and you can see the passion in you when you talk about it, and I love it. It reminds me when I first got on this journey, and I started doing, I think, Reiki 1.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, it was we met 2 times a week, and then all day on Saturday. And on our Thursday nights, I think it was like this, we would get together and everybody would go around the room and just express what they're going through, as we're going through the sessions and stuff of learning. And I remember one time sitting back and going, oh my gosh, I do not want to be here, because this is like a therapy class. Like, I didn't want to come here to therapy.
You didn't
Why
want to
do I
feel
want to
it.
Yeah, why do I want to care about this lady, her and her husband's fighting, or her and her daughter are not getting along, or the families are not? I'm like, when did this become a therapy? But it's because, you know what? They had a clean, and me too, because there's a lot of aha moments that I caught as I'm driving home, like, oh, yeah, because I can't elevate higher if I don't clean myself up too. And that's exactly what those women were doing.
Yeah.
So I actually was the one in the wrong, because I sat there and I listened to them and I judged them like, dudes, this is not a therapy session.
Judge and you shall be judged.
Yeah, we're
But you're
learning.
judging yourself. That's the only person that's judging you. God's
Yeah.
not up there going, you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, you're fat.
Hmm.
Sorry, he's not.
Yeah, but
You're
I had
judging
to
yourself.
go and get whatever was getting me stuck, whatever
Mm.
I
I
was.
love that. But you recognize what that was. You were
After
able to
a
see
couple of
that.
sessions of
Mhm.
watching those other women vent and going, and I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
Then that's when I had that aha moment, like, because you do have stuff yourself, Anne, that you need to get out and you need to express. And then finally, when I came to it and I expressed probably whatever it was that I was going through, it was amazing how, wow, it was, wow, like, wow, that I think, yeah, that was the set off to the whole the Reiki. That was when I was like, okay, when we started practice on each other, my energy, I could really feel the vibration. I could feel the heat of my hands. Before, it was like the motion, I could feel the heat, but it
Mhm.
wasn't until I broke out of that, like the trauma or whatever you said,
Mhm.
and I started feeling and really feeling myself connecting to the person we were working with. That's when, oh my gosh, my hands would get so hot that they would burn. Like, it's just the most craziest feeling. Like I always say, Reiki is the best massage without ever getting touched. Like, it is the best massage without ever
I
getting
believe so
touched.
too.
Oh.
My thought on all of that is, I believe our frequency, our
Mm,
energy, our frequency, our vibration, whatever you want to call it, has
mhm.
got to be front and center priority.
Yeah.
We've got to keep our frequency up to match that of a higher perspective, a higher view.
Yeah.
If you're down here all the time in your ego, that doesn't
Hmm.
feel good. Who the hell wants to be down there? You
No.
want to be up here or living from your heart space. This is like, so it meets in the middle, right? And then we
Yeah.
learn to live from up here, these chakras above our head.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like your currency, you got to invest in your currency.
And you have to be very aware, because that's in like, as you're speaking, I'm thinking, okay, but if you're somebody watching us that you're wanting to learn and just hear, like, how do you keep yourself in that higher frequency? The thing is that you got to be mindful of your feelings. Exactly. You got to be mindful of yourself. Like, when you're going out, it's so easy to get caught up, because hello, we are here, we're being realistic, you know what I mean? We're working and we're being around all these different people all the time, so our energy shifts. But when we notice that we shift and we're not in alignment more, it's just to be aware of that so you can bring it back and then elevate your vibration again. So, what is the one thing that you do, like for an instant, get you up into get your vibration back? Like when you feel that, oh my gosh, the tension of everybody, like what brings you back?
I'm going to tell you the easiest thing ever that I do is I look up.
You look
It
up.
instantly raises your frequency. I
Mm.
feel different. I look up.
Oh, that's so true. Okay, I'm doing that now. Oh, you
If
kind of
not, if you
have that.
can't look up, which that's one of
Yeah.
the simplest, if you can't look up, there's many ways. I do deep breathing.
Yeah.
I do, well, obviously clearing, but I envision a bubble around myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would even listen to high frequency music, any type of dancing music, anything that gets your body moving.
Yeah.
It's going to get you out of your head, and if you feel like, I always say, you can tell, like, have you ever been out with a couple and they had a fight? You can feel the tension in
Oh
the
yeah.
room without even knowing that they had a fight.
Right. Right.
It's energy. You feel that. It's like, well, something went down in here, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
so pay attention to what that is. Or I always tell people, what I like to tell my students or my clients is, if you go somewhere, I'm in a great mood, and I go to the movie, say, with my husband, and all of a sudden I get like melancholy, I get sad, I get some fear. Obviously, I picked up something from somebody along the
Oh,
way.
right. Right.
And so you
Right.
have to be aware now. Why did my demeanor change all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
That's not you. That's just energy attaching to you.
Yeah.
And if you can't
Yeah.
remove it, all that energy does is build up and build
Build
up
up.
and build up.
Mm-hmm. And you
Hence
need
the
to learn
reason
how
we're
to.
always tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hence the reason we're living in the negative feed of the world.
Mm-hmm. Because I do agree. There's sometimes when I'm not feeling, I'm feeling a funk. I was just talking about this today with somebody
Mhm.
that I was working with, and she was saying that she's just like in this black space. But then when we really talked about it, like I even was telling her, I go through that sometimes, but then when I stop and really just say, okay, let me do a check-in, like why am I feeling this? Instead of just walking around the house,
Yeah.
moving around, going, why am I doing whatever? I literally stop and then I check myself and just there's that word feel again, right? I feel and I just kind of do a scan. And then I notice, no, I'm happy. My soul is happy. Life is good. So then I look around, where am I picking up this negative energy? And most of the time, it's either you're like, if you're in a store or somewhere, you're picking it up from somebody else. Or because how we were talking about energy is from, I will get a call maybe later that night and it's like my mom or somebody or a friend, oh, I'm having a bad day. And
Mhm.
then once they start talking, I'm like, oh, that's kind of the feeling that I was having, like I was getting, and I was realizing I was picking up on their energy, even though they're not with me physically, but I was picking up on their energy because we're connected.
And
So,
how amazing is that when you can tell the difference? And it's okay. Trust me, I have bad friggin' days too. I mean, nobody's sitting here saying your life's going to be perfect and you're going to go around, oh, life is beautiful, because we all have
no.
shit.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, over and
What we're
over.
saying is, when you can live up here, and like I said earlier, we're not going to reach Christ consciousness in our lifetime. But
Yeah.
the more we can live from our upper chakras, the more the world changes around us, right? Change your
Mhm.
inner landscape and your outer landscape's going to change. If there's
Yeah.
upheaval and chaos in your life, it's in
Mhm.
here. And that's
Yeah.
what you're projecting out. You're going to create it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can you be, we said this a few weeks ago, how can I be rich if I'm always saying I'm poor?
Poor.
The
True.
universe responds to energy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's you're so true. It's sad. I think we were also talking a little bit about, with everybody with anxiety of the war and stuff, because you got to feel like when you watch television, I feel it's horrible. Especially I just think of them like at nighttime when it's time, to sleep and they're all outside, and it's just a horrible thing right now. But instead of watching the television, because there's nothing you can do, right? You can donate, you can pray for them, you can do all that, but you physically, unless you get on a plane and go over there, there's not that much that you can do, right? Like I said, you can donate, you can do all that, which is absolutely wonderful stuff, but it's turn off the news, right? And then I think if we were talking, if everybody, like everybody, when somebody's sick, they do the prayer, the chain prayer. Well, no, if everybody did that, just a moment of just thought, of a happy thought, just pray for them, a good vibes. Don't even think the negative. Just say, gosh, pray for the beauty, pray for it to be over, pray that, the Lord is watching over them. And if everybody did that, it's going to change the vibe, and it's going to change the way everybody thinks, and it's going to raise up that vibration. And then hopefully it'll change, because it's really bad. Because, the more you think negative, and if I think negative, you start thinking negative, then they start thinking that you're in just a whole bunch of negative,
Why do you think they call it a program? They're programming your mind. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about mind control. It's always been about control. If you can control the people, you win all the pieces, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's not going to change until we, the people, change how we think about ourselves and think about each other.
Yep. No, I totally agree.
It's
It's the
not as
morals.
hard
We
as
need
you
to get
think it's
back to
going to be.
morals and love,
Morals, values. Well,
values.
what can you do? The information that I keep getting is there's going to be some big upheaval.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to understand that behind that upheaval comes beauty.
Mm.
It will come. I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I'll speak from my own personal experience. When my son died,
Mm.
the worst time in my life ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept telling me, but out of that, there'll come beauty. There will
Mm-hmm.
be beauty. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to tell you, I can tell you that with a
Mm-hmm.
clear conscience. That's my truth, and I'm standing to it.
I
But what
love
can
it.
you do? So let's talk about what you can do, because you get caught up in that. Number one is don't watch the news. But
Yeah.
number two, purification. We've got to stop purifying our bodies. We abuse our bodies. We don't
Yes.
want to feel anything, so we drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's social conditioning, right? I mean, it's
Right.
been social conditioning from the time you were little. Your grandparents drank, your parents drank. It was all great. But it's to numb something you don't want to feel.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
how can you be in that space of I feel worthy, or I love this person, or I love that person, when you're putting poison in your body?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. No, and I agree, but I do have to say I do like a good margarita once in a while.
Me too. And I like wine, and they're always like, you can't drink wine unless you make it yourself. And I'm like, well, damn, I'm not doing that.
But yes,
But we may go back to that.
we should do a show about that too, because I do say the more that I've been raising my vibration and moving up, I can't. I noticed that alcohol, I don't like the way I feel, and
Oh my God, yes.
I'm like, what the heck? And I used to be like, what is it? What is it? And I'm like, and then it hit me is because my vibration is just it plays out of whack with me.
It'll start to make you sick. And we're
Yeah.
not, like we said, we're not saying never drink. I
Oh
mean,
heck
I
no.
go out and drink and have wine, and Ann and I went out one night and had a whole bottle of wine.
Yes, we did.
But we paid for it,
Yes.
but we had to work. I'm going to tell you, I had to work doubly hard then to get my free. I couldn't go to work the next day. I
Yeah.
couldn't function, because in order to do the work that we do, our frequency's got to be high. So we have to treat our body as if it's a temple.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wish I could get that way with food. That would be amazing. Like
I
if
told
I
my
would
son, we're
get
going to live on air. I'm just going to live on air from now
I
on.
know. I know. But yeah,
It'll
okay.
be
So getting
wonderful.
back to what can you do? What can we do to keep our vibrations going and getting up? It's just for me, it's that check-in, right? If we're
Where am
talking
I
about
at?
vibration, I would say we're not talking doubt or anything like that. We're talking vibration. I say for me is just to stop and to check in and ask myself, how am I feeling? And if I do feel like something's off, then the next step is to say, where's it coming from? Because I know I'm happy. I know everything is okay. Then where's it coming from? And then when I look, I realize that it's coming from the outside. It has nothing to do with what's coming in the inside. And then that helps me push through, because it's like, oh, got it. It's not me. It's not something I have to work on.
Right.
So
So if it is you,
yes.
I fully believe that everybody should learn Reiki 1. I am a
Mm,
full, firm believer in Reiki 1. It teaches you self-care. You have to do
mm-hmm,
21 days of self-healing on yourself. You get to know your body, your feeling, where you're feeling it.
mm-hmm,
Before your back hurts, before your neck hurts, I can start to feel something's off in my physical body.
mm-hmm. Mhm.
Now that can come from wherever because I'm a physical human being living here. I could have bent over wrong and picked something up and that could tweak something. But I feel it before it's coming on. So like you said, if it's somebody else's energy, check in where it is, if it's
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
If it is yours, you need to clear it. Even if it's not yours, you need to clear it, obviously.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
when you know about self-healing, and
Mhm.
almost every religion that I know teaches some form of hands-on healing.
Right, right, right,
So it's
right.
not nothing taboo. I mean, we're
No.
not talking anything taboo here. It's very simple. You can take a Reiki 1 class at your local college by now.
Mhm. I think you can get it anywhere. There's so many Reiki
Online even
practitioners.
probably.
Yeah, yeah, there's so many right now, which I love it. I don't think I would be a good teacher. Um, but like I said, that's how I started out was Reiki. And then it just led into more of my channeling, which has led more into my alignment work. So it's just funny how it just kind of you keep on pivoting to the different frequencies that you're at. So,
So how do you
yeah.
know that? Let's talk about that too. How do you know that? Like,
What do you mean?
so
Like,
like you said, you're pivoting, right? All of a sudden, like you learn Reiki 1 and then something else. I always tell people, I'm not searching these things out. I didn't search out to be a minister. I will tell you a year ago, I had
yeah.
no intention, no desire to be a minister.
Mhm.
Never.
Yeah.
This opportunity came in front of me. I checked in with my soul. I
Yeah.
felt it immediately when it was brought to my attention.
Uh-huh.
These are things where your life pivots. I was
Yeah.
going to college to be a care advocate in human services for abused children.
Mhm.
Almost done with my bachelor's degree. I did finish because I wanted that degree. I pivoted. My daughter was very sick. I had to go towards Reiki to learn how to heal her. My
Mhm.
whole life shifted.
Mhm. Yep. But it's true. It does it comes and it finds you. Yes, because I've always had an awareness now that I look back on my life. I've said it before, like before I didn't know what it was, but as you do it, you're like, you get those aha moments like, oh, yeah, that makes sense now. Oh, that makes sense now. But then when I got into the Reiki and started doing that, then I would also start getting channeling as I was, doing the Reiki on people. Things would come to me, and then it always seemed like it was the emotional side of what was going on with them. And then but then I was like, okay, great. I have this information. What am I supposed to do? And I just, okay, you have this going on. Bye. See you next time. So then it made me go and learn more about that and more about my um, teachings of myself and asking what did I need to do. So, yes. So then it just kind of turned it to the channeling. And then now that I've been doing the channeling, now I've been getting, I want to say most of the people that I've been working with they're on their spiritual path, but they're just not sure how to stay in alignment with it. So now it's changing again to helping these people. But you notice because everybody's keeping, they all have a pattern, and then that's how you know. But like you said, I didn't go look for it. That's what just slowly started coming to me. And you got to be open to that. You got to be open to receive new things, because if you don't, then you're going to keep yourself, like you were saying, like you have that protective bubble. But if you keep yourself also in that bubble, then you're not expanding yourself and you're not learning the new. You got to be open and allowing to new information and new freedoms. I
And
don't know.
we are birthing anew. Where we're going, I'm going to tell you these next 2 months, all of the information that I'm receiving from my 9-dimensional higher self, who's
Wow.
Andromedan in the Andromedan galaxy,
Mhm.
9D. We're
Wow.
4 or 5, getting into 5 now, right? Been in 5 a while, but I still drop back down to 3. 9D.
I'm right there on the beginner level, girl. You're like so far out there. I'm like, maybe one day I'll get there. We were talking about that too with somebody that was talking about that. And I was saying we were talking because there is that little crystal I sometimes do my meditation with. It's green. Is this supposed to be part from the moon? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, motivate. Motivate?
Yes, that's it. But this thing is so tiny. Hold on, I'm gonna guys right
Oh,
here.
mine is tiny too because it's expensive.
It's so okay. It's so expensive, but this little thing. But see, you'll get this because you're there. this little thing, like I was telling them, in the beginning, it didn't affect me that bad. It helped me raise my vibration. But now, if I meditate with this little sucker, it throws me into the galaxy. Like all I see is just lights, and it looks like little like hanging lights everywhere. Like I'm not even a human form anymore. Like I know I'm there, but I'm more like a light. Like if I look at myself or kind of see, I'm a light. And it is just, but it but I don't know how to take it from there. And then when I come get myself out of it, because I'm like, okay, this is just too trippy. I don't know what's going on. Then when I come back, it wipes me out. Like I am done. Like I just want to go take a nap. I am over. It just exhausted me. As when I do my other normal meditation, I'm like ready to go. Let's start the day or whatever. But this little guy, woo wee, he sends me to a whole. But I think the plane that he takes me to is, I think, the plane that you're working on, or you're probably even past that. You're
Well,
there
you
and you know
know,
how to
I
handle it.
started with Moldavite and I had the same experiences. Like I was on
Oh, you
freaking
did?
Space Mountain. All I saw was dark and all these lights going by that I couldn't even see because it was so freaking
Yes.
fast.
That's, oh my God, that is exactly, because
And
I,
so eventually I lost my Moldavite. I couldn't even tell you where it is.
oh my
You don't
God.
need it anymore. That is like a tool to teach you. It's a path we follow. We have these stepping stones and we go and we go and we go.
Oh, then maybe that's what it is. Because yeah, when I first started using it, it was great for me in the beginning. It really helped me, like, oh, okay, I can get into the zone, I can get the clarity. But now if I use it, I think because my vibration is so high that it just sends me to a whole nother level
But you got
that
to go higher, you know?
oh gosh. I don't even know if I could handle it. I don't even know, because I can't even interpret when it puts me there. I can't even interpret that level, so I can't even imagine. Oh my
Well, that's
god.
what I'm saying about what happened to me over the weekend. It's very difficult as we move up. We're going to be using our intuitive senses. You're
Mhm.
not going to be using words. It's very hard. Some people right now are experiencing memory loss,
Mhm.
loss of articulation,
Mhm.
because where we're going, we're not going to need words. I'm going to be able to talk to you like this. So we're not going to need words. So find it very difficult right now. And I'm in
Yeah.
the middle of writing my second book. I'm like, dude, let me like finish this book before you do this to me. I better get this book done quick.
Oh my gosh. But see, I think that's fascinating. Do you think we'll be there? I don't think it will happen in this lifetime, though. Do you think I wonder how many more lifetimes it will have to be before?
Telepathically, I
Yeah.
I think it already happens. I do think it happens. I think when you think of somebody and they call you,
Yeah.
I just did this. So I met a girl on the road. My son directed me to her. I didn't know where I'd meet her or anything. I had no intentions of looking for her. She showed up at a campground one day. We became instant connection friends.
Mhm.
She popped in my head the other day. You better
Mhm.
give her a call.
Right. Wow.
I
But yeah,
did.
no, I agree, because I was watching a special and I really wish I could remember the name. It was something on Netflix, and there was about these kids that are in London, and they are teaching them. And so what they do is the teacher will put out cards, and each of the kids will tell you what is under those cards without looking at the cards. Like they will tell you it's a train, a horse, or whatever. And then they had somebody standing outside the door. And so they asked the kids, is it male or female? And they're like, male. This one kid could told them exactly who the name of the person was. And I didn't even know that there was it's a like a little university, and it's literally people from all over the world now are going there, and
Wow.
they are learning how to use their brains in a capacity that we have never even used before. And they say what we only use 5 or 9% of our brain anyhow. I mean, it's
Really
so
like
low.
this.
Yeah. So I was just blown away. So I agree with you. It's just either it hasn't been spoken, people don't talk about it, which I'm sure that's what it is. But yes, you're right. It's here more than what we think. And I think that word deja vu, I think that's a myth. I think that truly is our energy speaking to each other. It's nowadays, you know what I mean?
No,
It's
because it happens. I've had deja vu about my husband and daughter and stepdaughter. I've
mhm.
never, experienced them in other lives, obviously, but not as Terry Ann and him and the kids.
Right,
So
right.
if you have deja vu, I fully believe that that's happening right now
Yes.
at
Yeah.
another time, and there's like a sudden glitch. So it's like,
Oh, that's
that's
a good
my
way to
take on
think
it.
of
I don't
it.
know if anybody knows out there. Let me know. I don't know everything, but that's my
I
take on it.
I would love to do that because haven't you ever been somewhere because well, obviously you have because you're talking about it, but you're like in a store or you're just doing something around the house and then you'll kind of just stop because it's like I've done this before. Like literally the same motion, the same, it's not like the folding clothes. It's literally the same. Everything is exactly the same, and you almost remember it to a T. Like that's just kind of crazy that I remember that.
And it's happening more. The more we
Yeah.
become intuitive, the more we learn to use our intuitive abilities. See,
Mhm.
hear, feel, know, understand. The more we learn how to connect with those, the more we're not scared of them, the more we trust them. We're not saying
Right.
everybody needs to go out and be a psychic or a medium or a mystic or anything, but
Mhm.
this is about you.
Yeah.
You need to be in touch with who you are, who
Yeah.
you are. Who is your soul? When Terry Ann takes off this mask,
Mm. Mhm.
who is she on a soul level?
I
Because this
think
is a mask too. I'll tell you, I don't have a problem friggin' telling anybody. This is a mask too.
yeah. But I think people are afraid to do that. I think they're afraid of
Of
what they're gonna
course,
find
because that's
gonna
you
find.
you're vulnerable then.
Mhm.
Well, they might not like me, or I might not be what they think I am, or I might not think they are what I thought they were.
But
And
the sad thing is if you just stop at exactly what you just said, listen, if you could play it back on a recorder, listen to everything you just said. Everything you just said, you worried about what somebody else perceives you as. Not once
exactly.
did you say what I perceive, what I would think,
Because when
like,
you know who you are on a soul level, and that's what we're working to, that's what we're in the
right.
phase of moving up to. Christ
Yeah,
consciousness. Christ consciousness is nothing more than you are divinity. You got Christ in you. When
absolutely.
you
Yep.
believe that you're Christ consciousness, you will never let anybody abuse you. You will
Mhm.
never hurt anybody.
Right. Right. Right.
You can't. You won't be able to. So
Mm-mm.
as we start moving into this intuitive frequency and we start seeing people on that heart level for who they are, rather
Mhm.
than it just judging them or them judging me. And we've been
Right.
conditioned to believe that's all conditioning. It's all programming. We've been conditioned to believe that we are something that we're not. And so we put on these masks and we use them with different people in different
Mhm.
places. And it's a mask. It masks the true self of the soul who's in there that's saying, look, take off the fucking mask already and raise your divinity.
Yeah. No, I get you. It's just, I just wish there was an easy way that we could just let people know. And basically, it
There's
is with
not.
there.
I'm
Yeah, there
sorry.
isn't. But the only way you're going to check in, and if you really want to heighten or become more spiritual, right? And this is not even talking from our side of spiritual, I'm talking even from the biblical side. If you want to get connected with the higher, like, I don't, if you call him Lord, Jesus, whatever you call your God, you have to get in with yourself. That's the only way that you're going to be able to feel him, or you're not going to, right? It's like that one show that they used to have years ago on television. I used to laugh, but they took it down because too many people got offended. And oh my gosh, I would laugh so hard. Oh, I can't remember. She was the cutest little actress, but like they would go to Sunday school and they'd all like, or church, and they would look all nice and cute. And they're like, hello, hello. And then they do the little after tea party afterwards and go have their coffee and donuts. And then everybody would say goodbye and God bless you and may the Lord find you, whatever. Literally, that's how they were talking in the show. And then everybody gets in the car and they're all trying to get out and they're like, fuck you, man, all the way. And I was laughing so hard because that's what it is. When they're there under the church, they're all like, praise the Lord. Oh,
Mhm.
don't you look beautiful today? But as soon as they got outside, oh, game on. And I would I love that show, but because it was so real, but they took it down because too many people were getting offended. And I'm like, you're getting offended because that was you. That is so you.
That's a
That is
good leeway. I'm going to
that's
tell
why you
you.
took it down.
I've only been a minister for the last 5 or 6 days. I can't tell you how many people said to me, "You can't curse." I was like,
Why?
"I don't know what you're talking about because I'm still gonna fucking be who I am, and I curse. I don't know what to tell you because you
Why?
can't.
Why can't you
Because you
curse?
can't." And I'm like, "Well, why can't I?
Who told
I
you that?
Tons of friggin' people.
Can you go and look in the Bible and tell me where it says
But
that
I'm going
showing
to tell
up?
you, this is what it's about. It's about neutrality.
Oh, that's so
Light,
weird.
dark, good, bad,
Yeah.
minister, cursing. Okay. We are both, people. Get it through your heads. We are both masculine and feminine. We
Mhm.
are both. We can
Yeah.
have both. And when we're balanced,
Mhm.
that's when you hit the place that you know when you're balanced. And we fluctuate. I fluctuate too.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just like that one of my girlfriends, we were at live in an outdoor in California. It was an outdoor bar where they did the
Mhm.
live entertainment and stuff. And we all went to have an afternoon cocktail and just watch the band play or whatever. When she went to school the next day, because we went during the day, and so allow kids could go at that time, you know, in the little area. And when she went into the school the next day, she was called into the principal's office because a parent complained that her child was there and they were watching Miss Such and Such was having cocktails. And I'm like, one, you're off. You're off. And two, what did you do that's so bad? You know what I mean? But that's to perceive because, oh, the teachers need to have but they have a lives too and they're human. But that's what I mean. Who are
And why
these
are
people
you
that are
putting it
making
outside
rules?
yourself? Look at you. Don't worry
That's
about
it.
what I'm doing over here. Look at you. When you can look at you, because if you're looking at me like that, exactly what you said a few minutes ago, that's who you are. You have this
I like to
belief
turn
of
that
how I
mirror.
should be. Have
Yeah.
your belief about who you should be.
It's that big mirror. Turn it around. If you get affected or something is triggering you so bad, flip that
Look at
mirror.
that. That's I look at triggers now as a gift. They are a
Yeah.
gift. You're
Yeah.
supposed to look at that.
Yeah.
If I look at you and
Absolutely.
go, oh, look at who does she think she is? Look at her,
Hmm.
how she's dressed up in those heels. Who does she think she is? I'm
Hmm.
thinking that about myself.
Absolutely.
So look
Yes.
at that and then feel that in your body. Where are you feeling that tension? You know, when you're mad at somebody, you tense up, right? You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can feel it in your body. So start experiencing. I call it focused and being present. We've got to
Mhm.
start being more present in what we're doing, what we're
Yeah.
saying, what we're experiencing. And when you can be present in your now,
Hmm.
I don't have time to judge anybody else what they're doing.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But it's hard and we all do it. I
And you
fall off
do.
the
I did it
wagon once in a while too, but
too.
I catch myself where I'm grateful. And then it always seems to be after the fact, but I do. At least I catch myself and be like, Anne, why did you do that? You know what I mean? But
But you're
it is
aware, and
what
that's
it
part of the process. It's like a stepping stone. We're growing.
is.
I
Hmm.
don't think we're going to be there probably for like 600 years. We don't learn. Humans do not learn. We
Mm-mm.
are in the place now where it's like, how many times do you got to do this over and over again until you figure it out?
It is so true. And you know what? Because I think I brought this up before. I swear, if I hear one more person, I know people are probably like, oh my gosh, she says this every episode. But
And you're
I,
judging her.
yeah, but it's the what is oh, it's my favorite line. I cringe when I hear it. These are the most uncertainty of times. This is the worst the world has ever been. And my question is, give me a time that there hasn't been shit going on in the world. And it's because exactly like you said, it's just that we're not growing and evolving. That is yes, we are, but we need to do it at a faster pace. And we need to learn from our mistakes and we got to learn from the past.
Ooh,
And we're
I'm
not.
hot. Now you're all passionate in here. Raising my frequency, I'm hot.
But do you know what I mean? It's just, but that's, it's just like, give me a time. So if it's not working out, then how do we fix it? But that's the thing. We go back to it. Like I remember 2008 when the economy took a tank, right? And I just opened my salon and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And my only thinking was, you know what, Anne, as long as you do an awesome job, you do what you're supposed to do it right, you're going to be okay. And I succeeded very well during a time where I think it was very hard for everybody, but I'm almost grateful that for that time. Just like in a way, I hate to say it with COVID because I'm over COVID,
Me too.
but I think it was such a great thing because it pulled us all back. people stopped spending like crazy, and they really got in touch with what they really wanted and what
Mhm.
they needed. It wasn't a, oh, that's cute. Oh, let me have this. Oh, let's go do it really brought people, I think it humbled people. I guess that's the word I'm
Mhm.
looking for. It really humbled people. But when the economy got turned around and went back up, guess what? Everybody was right back there. They forgot about how everything was almost taken away just like that. I mean, just like that. I mean, people were losing their jobs. Realtors were out of a job by the next day. Everything just came to a complete stop. But then when it started going, it's like everybody just forgot about it and just kept on going again. And then it's like, oh, but if you didn't learn from it, I learned from it. Now I'm like, oh, I watch my pennies more. And then with COVID too, and then being now, like both you and me, we got in the RVs and started, being full timers. Uh, it made me realize that I don't need all that shit that I
Yeah.
used to. It's kind of relieving. Like I used to love going to Hobby Lobby and I would just buy stuff that looked cute. Now I'm like, I really don't need that. I just
Mm.
don't need it. Because you know what? I don't want to pack the shit up again. I don't want to pack it up because too much shit. Yeah.
Well, we're going like almost 50 minutes now. When we get started, there's no stopping us.
There
I
isn't.
would love to do a live and talk for like 2 or 3 hours because I think
Mm,
there's so much teaching that needs to be involved because I think we have to go deeper again.
mm-hmm. Yep.
We
And I
start
really
going
wish people
deeper.
would reach out. I know this is a tough subject and I know I
It's
get
scary.
yes, and I get some people that text me afterwards or DM me and say, "Oh my gosh, I love that show, whatever, whatever." Feel free to come on here. There is no judgment. And that's the part of
You don't even have to. You can use an alias, I think, when you're on YouTube and all that crap. I've seen
you
all different
could,
types of
but this
names.
is my thing. If you want to do this, right? Like some people will text me and say, "I really want to get in and be in the place that you're at." Then this is your open floor, right? Because it's a safe environment. There's no judgment that we're going to give you. So if you really want to come out, this is the place to do it because you're almost saying, I really don't give a shit if somebody else that I know sees this and like, why did you jump on there? Because you don't care what they think. You're doing it for you, not
Mhm.
for that other person.
And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to start to change. So I
You
think
will.
that we should do a longer live and people can understand that place that they need to get to that needs to be healed. It all goes back to healing. If you can heal
It
all
does.
that, and it's not easy, and we've done it. And I'm going to tell you, I go down in the trenches. I've been down in the trenches with you. But I'm a tough teacher. I don't take any BS. I've been down there. That's why I expect my students to do their work, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. No, and I love that. I love that because but that's what it forces you. You probably know. I know some people that have been going to therapists for many years. Some do it just because it's a way for them to release. Like, if they have high pressure jobs, it's a way for them to release. Some people get it because they truly do have some issues that they're trying to work through. But with that, uh, I would say if you've been doing it for so many years and you still think you're in the same spot, you might want to recheck it because maybe it's not that label that you were given. Maybe you're doing a battle of something inside that you got to work with. And I'm saying that from a spiritual side. Maybe there's that little knock knock like, no, your anxiety is coming because you're not listening to us. We're trying to
Absolutely.
elevate you, but you're trying to think of it as a label that something else is causing it when truly, hello, we just want you to hear us so you can go up a different ladder. Hmm.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
join us next week. We're going to try to do another live
Whoop,
on
whoop.
YouTube and we'll see how it goes. But we're
Okay.
very excited. Like, share, subscribe us.
Yes.
You'll get notifications when we're coming live. We want to be very interactive. I think this is where we're going too with the interaction.
Hmm.
A lot of my services have changed. I've amped up. They're interactive. I'm just not
Hmm.
healing you.
Mm.
And as a healer, I don't heal you anyway. I make the space for you to heal. Let's get that straight. But
Mhm.
I think it's changing to interactive. So I'd like to see more people out here responding.
Yeah. 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 Stop DM me. No, DM me if you want, but get on here, like, and then
Yeah.
join us. Join us if you have something to say. If you disagree on something that we're saying, let's hear your point of view, because just because it's our point doesn't mean that we're right. It's just
Right.
how we view
I'm
it.
open to learning everything.
Absolutely. So if they have something that they can teach us, gosh, bring it on. Like with you, I like they are saying, oh, hello. Like I said, that's in a whole different. Like I'll get to you one day. I swear, Terry Ann, I'll get to you one day.
I don't think so because this is what I think happens. We gotta
What?
go. But
No, go girl.
I think you attract people that are above a level for you so you can learn. I have mentors, I have coaches. I work very hard at what I do because I'm a curious learner. I always want to learn more. I'm not going to learn more with people that are on the same level as me. You got to
Yeah.
go outside your little comfort zone here and be with people who are different than you, people that have adversity, people that have different values and morals, even. But you
Yeah.
have to start learning. I'm not saying anything about where you're at or where I'm at. There's no judgment about that. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is you have to expand your circle.
I like that. That is so true. I that is so true, and that rings very true to me because there I do have to say a couple of people in my life that so at times I find myself envious of them. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Because I love them so much and I'm so proud of what they're doing and where they are in their life. But
Mm-hmm.
then I sit down and realize, oh, it's because they're here because they're pushing me. I'm like, oh, so thank you again because you're right. They're pushing me to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So join us next week where we'll be here live. We're keeping it real with the
Yes.
Sisters of the Light.
Sisters of the Light.